Zack Snyder seemed to be a very big fan of Rick and Morty, even summoning Dan Harmon to Warner Brothers to discuss making a film. Welcome to Stats In. If you're just joining us, please subscribe and don't forget to turn on notifications bell for more video. Rick and Morty will last 100 years. This is a fact established within and outside the series. In addition to Rick constantly declaring that the show will run for many years, the creator of the show, Dan Harmon, has also made it clear that the goal for the show is to make thousands of episodes. With this already set up, one would assume that the only problem the creators and writers would now have is making special episodes and keeping the quality consistent. However, it would seem that television isn't the only medium that the scientist and his grandson want to dominate. Harmon has set up a movie in the story's future, and it has a very big-name director attached to it. Although Rick and Morty has been running strong for many years now, many fans have been hoping for some kind of film from it. Some live-action attempts have been made by fans. However, they never hit as well as the series does. With its ability to turn everything into a joke and still be able to sneak in some existential dread, it is safe to say that Dan Harmon knows what to do with the series. Thankfully, the idea of a film has also crossed his mind. At the same time, the person who could be involved with the project seems more interesting than the pitch itself. In a 2023 interview with The Hollywood Reporter, Harmon revealed that he was summoned to Warner Brothers by Zack Snyder himself. While the director has been focusing on individual projects as of late, he is best known for creating classic films like Man of Steel, Zack Snyder's Justice League, and 300. When he is not making iconic films like these, he seems to be just like the rest of us, devotedly following the lives of Morty and Rick. Not him saying, "I get to do it," or anything like that. He was totally a super fan and was just like, "Is there any way I can help get that movie started by using my Snyderness?" Harmon revealed that Snyder summoned him not from a position of authority, but as a fan of the series himself. The director wanted to convince Harmon to make a film with these characters, wanting to be a part of it in some way or another. He even joked that he could jumpstart the project with his Snyderness. While a layman would have jumped at the opportunity to have Zack Snyder working on a movie for their very successful show, Dan Harmon was wiser than that. He understood the appeal of Rick and Morty and knew that he could make his demands very high when telling the director his vision for the hypothetical film. Harmon stated that the film would be coming soon, and the story he put forth was extremely interesting. A year before Snyder approached Harmon about the film, The Rick, a more well-lived episode from Season 6 directly poked fun at the Snyder cut of Justice League, joking that 8% of it was just Batman dreaming. So, the Rick and Morty movie is coming as soon as Zack Snyder gets back from his vacation, because I want to start with a Snyder cut of that movie, and then I want to do the director's cut of a Snyder cut release, so we can just have a 6-hour Rick and Morty movie and 3 hours of it is in black and white. The show's creator seems committed to his jokes, even when he faces the people he is making fun of. Harmon continued the gag and mentioned that they will first release a Snyder cut of the film, then a director's cut. They will then ensure that the film is 6 hours long, with half of it in black and white. No updates have come from this since, and the creators seem to be focused on the release of the 8th season. However, seeing a 6-hour-long film featuring black and white Rick and Morty, handcrafted by Snyder himself, would be extremely interesting. David Corenswet saved James Gunn from making the same mistake as Zack Snyder with the Superman suit. Welcome to Stats In. If you're just joining us, please subscribe and don't forget to turn on notifications bell for more video. World of superhero cinema, every detail matters. And for Superman, that means his infamous trunks. While Zack Snyder tried a modern gritty take on Superman with Henry Cavill in the 2013 hit Man of Steel, and it did make the front pages for its CGI-heavy visuals and seriousness, there was one major omission that still irks fans to this day: the iconic red trunks. Stripping Cavill's Superman of a classic comic book element in favor of a sleeker look was indicative of Snyder's decision to distance the superhero from the original hopeful, colorful roots. Fast forward to 2025, and we've got another Superman waiting to save the damsels. And it looks like David Corenswet, our newest superhero, might have been the one to convince director/producer James Gunn to stick with the OG trunks. In a recent Fandango interview, David Corenswet appeared alongside co-stars Rachel Brosnahan, Nicholas Hoult, and the writer, director/producer of the upcoming Superman, James Gunn. The cast joined Fandango host Perry Nemiroff to tease what's ahead in Gunn's upcoming superhero movie. While avoiding spoilers, the conversation subtly turned to Superman's iconic red trunks. The decision to ultimately include trunks in the upcoming film was deeply influenced by Corenswet himself. For him, The trunks weren't just another part of the costume but the very thing that defined Superman. They were a part of the mythos that kept the otherwise intense character a little grounded in silliness, just as a clever contrast to his powers. The red trunks are more than just a throwback to the original Clark Kent. They're a visual anchor in Superman's design. In the comic books, the trunks helped break the bodysuit's monotone silhouette, making the character more iconic and balanced. Eventually, the trunks came to be a tradition, religiously followed by the writers of Action Comics. The return of the trunks in Superman 2025 will be a sort of emotional reassurance for fans. Fan reactions across social media to this return to an OG Superman tradition have been extremely positive. The enthusiasm highlights how even the tiniest of details in costume design can have the biggest impact on how the character is perceived. Matthew Goode's casting in Zack Snyder's Watchmen was met with extreme criticism, which the actor did not initially take well, as evident in his first response. Welcome to Stats In. If you're just joining us, please subscribe and don't forget to turn on notifications bell for more video. Was aware of the backlash on his casting, which was evident in his shocking response that did not sit well with fans. Ozymandias was the superstar type of villain from Watchmen, and Goode not embodying the character's physical appearance was the main issue. He heard the negative feedback from his friends, and according to the British tabloid The Sun, via the playlist, the actor remarked, "If fanboys still hate the film after going and seeing it, they can all line up and suck my D.K. I don't give a f.k." He regretted saying those words as reflected in his conversation with Huffington Post, revealing he was not really sold by his own casting. "I wasn't convinced that I was the right choice to play him. And there were a couple of remarks I made in a very offhand, facetious, jokey way." Goode said he was the only one hired by Zack Snyder who didn't resemble the character, while the rest of the group was pretty much accurate, appearance and age-wise. He did spend time overthinking about that project, but he was young and carefree, so he might as well just enjoy the opportunity. Apart from admitting he should not have been cast for the part, he also discovered that the art still had Jude Law's face. He supposed the Sherlock Holmes star was meant to have the role, but he was too expensive to afford, so they settled for Goode. Still, Snyder said Goode fit the bill and did an excellent job playing Ozymandias. The filmmaker admitted it was a challenge to find an actor who was both handsome and sophisticated, although he did not think twice about hiring the Downton Abbey alum. Despite the harsh criticism, Goode had a great experience working on the set of Watchmen. The thought of many people hating his presence in the movie still lived in his mind, but he asserted that it did not affect his performance. It was Snyder's vision, after all, and the actor revealed that the director was pretty happy with how the movie turned out, and with Goode's performance too, so as a performer, he didn't think too much about the controversy.